Yo, relative here. Lately, I've been feeling very unsatisfied. No, that's not the word. Unhappy about the current events that are taking place in my life. I've been tired of life right now. Now, let's not get this mistaken. I'm not tired of living. I'm alive right now. I'm happy that I can even speak, talk, I am very much aware that there's many people out there that don't have the opportunities or even the food that I have or anything that I have actually. But right now in my current life, I've been feeling out of control. I've been feeling like I don't have control of my own life and it's been making me feel very unhappy or unsatisfied or just been very conflicted about life and all that right now. That's why I haven't been posting in like the past 3 weeks. I've been reflecting on my own life and my own moral compass on my life. And it just feels like nothing is going right for me, whether I'm in school or home or anything like that. But there's been many things that I've discovered. For one, I don't have any friends. I have zero friends. And there may be a lot of people out there who may consider me their friends, but they don't realize that I don't consider them as a friend because they do not reciprocate the same interactions that I had given them relatively in the beginning of this so called relationship. For one, I had a friend. I had not even a friend, I had even seen him as a best friend in the beginning, but he never reciprocated. He had in the beginning, but as we grew up, it was back in seventh grade, but as we grew up and moved away from each other, we started to grow apart. We started to grow apart from each other. And maybe by then, as I grew up, as maybe he grew up, we grew apart. And I really saw this in the last conversation we had because when I was speaking, it didn't seem like my words were holding any value in his heart. He didn't care about the things that I was passionate about. So I told him that you should be grateful for the things that you have. And in a joking manner, he kind of just says, real, And I'm like, no, like for real though, you really should be grateful for what you have because I wish I had some of the things you had. And he was surprised. I was like, yeah, I wish I had the things that you had because even back in seventh grade, he was always faster than me. I looked up to him. I even envied him at some point. But once I changed, I was like, you know what? I don't really need that stuff. He has his own life. I have my own life. And I just told him that, you know what? You gotta be more grateful for what you have in your life. I don't know if he actually took any value of that, but I hope he did. So as I changed my habits, got better habits, I stopped talking as much at school and I started to realize the people that I saw as friends stopped talking to me. I cut them off obviously because they were sinful and as I started to observe more, they did not question or search for knowledge. I began to realize this. That's why I stopped to speak to them as much and I only spoke when I was spoken to. But a true friend would keep on coming back, right? They never did. And I realized they weren't here because they were wanted to be friends with me. They were only here for maybe some kind of emotional support. It's just someone they can have a conversation with. They didn't really care about me. They just they just wanted something from me, I guess. And you should really eliminate those type of people out of your life because they do not bring any good. They don't. Another thing that I've been feeling pretty unsatisfied about is that I've been the things that people have been saying to me, I've been feeling very, very worthless in a sense, because I try to pay attention to so much detail, to the point where when I miss one detail, I make a mistake, people make me feel as if I mean nothing. For example, I was in school, I was trying to pay attention, but the teacher said one key detail that I had missed. And when I had handed back the paper, he asked me, "Oh, which one did you pick?" I didn't listen to that part, so I didn't hear it. He was like, "Oh, now you messed up the whole paper. I don't even know how I'm going to grade this. It makes gibberish." And I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. I can redo it. He was like, "No, it's fine. I'll just write mistake on it." That very same day, I also had messed up my presentation, done research on the wrong thing. You're probably asking, how does that happen? I don't know. A lot was on my mind, I guess. My partner didn't do anything. I did the entire project. I guess I made a mistake. Okay. But yeah, I somehow pulled that off. And even at home, when I make the little mistakes, maybe my mom may yell at me for a very minor detail, but all these things combined, just like, why? You know, I just question why. And lately, as I've been on my break, I've been noticing that I've been living my life in the past, in the future. That's why I had depression. That's why I had anxiety, because I was living too much in the past and what had already happened, and I was living too much in the future and worrying about what could happen when I wasn't focusing in the now. And now that I'm in my break and I've been really able to breathe, I've been realizing that I've been happy for the first time in my life. And what saddens me is that I'm going to have to go back to my old schedule, having to see people who don't give a single bit of, or care a single bit about me every single day. I'm going to have to wake up extremely early and go to bed extremely late all over again. And that's why I've been very dissatisfied with my life recently, because the circumstances in my current life don't allow me to live the life that I want to. This is the life that I want to live. I don't want to live a life that I don't. How do I word this? I don't want to live a life that I don't want to live. I don't want to have to wake up at 5:30 and go to bed at 11 o'clock or 10 or 12 o'clock. It's extremely taxing on the mind. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but I've been really at my thoughts about these things. And what's worse is that my family means the most to me in this world, but or I couldn't bring myself to tell them this because I don't feel comfortable enough to say these kind of things around them, because I know that they won't understand. I'm the only person who truly understands who I am in this world. Nobody else does. That's the worst part. I can't truly sit down and tell someone any of this because I know they won't understand. And when you put it in that sense, it feels like life without doing what you want to do is meaningless, right? Pretty much. But thank you guys for listening to my little rant. Hopefully you guys maybe could relate. If not, drop your comments. Yeah, stay reflective.